Welcome, friends, to an extra spooky episode of A VGM Journey. And I'm your host, The Messenger. The track that we're playing in today's show is Stage Theme 5 from the game Tiny Toons Adventures, and it was composed by Jun Funahashi, Masae Nakashima, and Satoko Minami. 'Tis the season of spookies and frights, which I kind of worded that a little odd, but let's roll with that. And even though a bunch of other VGM podcasters, they're going to have like their own Halloween special and spooky music, and I think I'm going to throw my hat into that ring as well. And if you think that track that we played in with wasn't spooky enough, then I think this next track will definitely up the spookiness. This is coming from Killer Instinct Season 2. The track is Village of Whispers, also known as Hisako's theme, and it was composed by Mick Gordon with vocals by Erika, Mirako, Olsen. that track that you just listened to, that was Village of Whispers from the game Killer Instinct Season 2. It was composed by Mick Gordon and with vocals by Erika Mirako Olsen. It was a rocking track, but it did have elements of creepiness and spookiness, and it definitely really sets the Halloween mood. And the character Hisako, she is really creepy. And I could best describe her as one of those Japanese ghosts, like from the movie The Ring or The Grudge. And to be honest, she's really not that fun to play as in that game because she moves really slow, and I have a hard time trying to get combos with her, and that's a big part of the game, is getting the combos. And her stage in the game is a Japanese cemetery, so everything about the character is very spooky. And I'm actually really curious on what the lyrics are for the song, because clearly they are being spoken in Japanese, and also saying the name of the character as well. And I was thinking that track really did kind of set the pace, and I kind of hate the backtrack on the spookiness with this next track, but I'm sure you guys will still get a vibe from it. And this is coming from Metroid Dread. This is Burenia, and it was composed by Sayoko Doi and Soshii Abe. Track that you just listened to, that was Burenia from the game Metroid Dread, and it was composed by Sayoko Doi and Soshii Abe. I'm going to come out and say that Metroid Dread was my favorite game of 2021. And I know that we still have a couple months left in the year, but it's going to be hard to top it. So I had an absolute blast from beginning to end, and I don't want to delve into any spoilers because I know quite a bit of you are still playing through it. So I want to keep details down to a minimum, but I will describe this area that this theme plays in, and that for the most part, it takes place underwater. And it's a pretty tough area to navigate at first, just because you don't have the necessary upgrades to get around faster or easier. And especially when you start to go deeper into the area, you get to see a lot of cool underwater caves and even just a lot of aquatic life. And it really starts to remind you that deep in the ocean, it is pretty creepy down there with all these different scary looking fish monsters, and a lot of the sound is muffled. You can't really hear much in the sound department just other than this song playing. And I think that's all I'm going to say about it. So I think I will further down the line actually do an episode focused on Metroid Dread because there is a lot of good stuff to share. So moving on, we're going to go back to the NES and hear this track from A Nightmare on Elm Street. This is Elm Street, and it was composed by David Wise. That track that you just listened to, that was Elm Street from the game Nightmare on Elm Street, and it was composed by David Wise. This game is pretty infamous for being a terrible licensed NES game, but I will say that it has a pretty underrated David Wise soundtrack. And the main focus of the game is that you're going around Elm Street trying to collect pieces of Freddy Krueger, and I want to say burn them. I'm not entirely sure. And to be honest, I've actually never seen any of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, so plot-wise, I'm not exactly in the loop. But I could definitely comment on this track, and that it does have some pretty spooky moments in it, just with its general tone, and that one section where the bass gets pretty buzzy and there's that kind of beeping noise to it. I actually was debating between picking this or a track from Friday the 13th, where that game also had a pretty decent soundtrack despite being a crappy NES game, but decided to go with this because David Wise is the man and this track is pretty good. I think we're going to move on to our next track, which this is coming from Splatterhouse 3. This is Battle with the Mask, and it was composed by Eiko Kaneda. That track that you just listened to, that was Battle with the Mask from the game Splatterhouse 3, and it was composed by Eiko Kaneda. And that's going to just about do it for the show this week. If you like what you've been listening to, have your friends check out the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and now even Facebook. And also wherever favorite podcatchers are. I'm more than likely going to be on there. You can email the show at vgmjourney@yahoo.com, and you could also check us out on Twitter at vgmjourney. I've got a Discord server for this show, which I will provide a link for that in the show notes, where you can hang out with your fellow VGM journeymen and talk about games, music, and even look at some cool art. We also have a Patreon for the show, which I will also provide a link for that in the show notes. And at just $3 a month, you can gain access to a monthly Patreon-only bonus show called a VGM Side Quest that I host with my fiancée Carly, and you also gain access to a special shout-out at the end of every show, just like the following people: Ed Wilson of the VG Embassy, Scott McElhone, and John Harrington, John Regan, David Fleming, and Jesse Moore of Game That Tune. So thank you guys for your pledges. We're going to play things out with one more track, and for the second show in a row, we're going to play something that was composed by Michiru Yamane, and it is a Castlevania game, but this time coming from Symphony of the Night. And just like that game, we're going to end it with I Am the Win. So have a good week, everyone.
Just like the wind. best in me is all I have to give. Just like the sun, when my day's done. Sometimes I don't like the person I've become. Is the enemy within our thousand men? Should I walk the path my words so bad I have? Is someone testing me every day I live? Well, the best in me is all I have to give. I can't pretend. I am the wind. And I don't know if I will pass this way again. All things must end. Goodbye, my friend. Think of me when you see the sun or feel the wind. I am the wind. I am the sun. And one day we'll all be one. I am the wind. I am the sun. And one day we'll all be one. I am the wind, I am the sun, and one day we'll all be one. I am the wind, I am the sun, one day we'll all be one. I am the wind, I am the sun, one day we'll all be one. I am the sun. One day we'll all be one. I am the wind, I am the sun, always be. We'll all be one. Drifting high in the sky, separate. All through thick and thin. I always will. All 'cause I will find both life and death to save my friend. I am the wind. I am the sun. I am the sun.
Hey everybody, it's the Messenger again. Decided to throw you guys a little extra special something, and I got ourselves a bonus track for the show. After I picked all the tracks and was recording the show, I had a good chance to listen to the music for the upcoming Mario Party Superstars, and that soundtrack is absolutely fantastic, and it is the perfect love letter to the Mario Party series. And I thought this track would be very appropriate for this Halloween show. So here is Horrorland, the last 5 turns from Mario Party Superstars. And this arrangement was done by Masayoshi Ishi, Toshiki Aida, and Satoshi Okubo.